Claudina Cayetano. I work with the Pan American Health Organization, and I'm very pleased to be here. It has been a great learning and experience. And I don't know how many of you remember many years ago, we used to have this motto where it's nothing about us, not about me, nothing about us without us, something like that. Remember that motto? And it's very interesting to see people with living experience in this meeting. I think this is fantastic because it's kind of living up to that. Similarly, with there's no health without mental health. And my point comes to, when we talk about integration, we talk about primary care providers. We want to be able to convert them. We want to be able to have them provide the care because they are the frontliners. And maybe it's good to start to think that in meetings in forums like this, we should include the primary care providers. I know there's limited resources. I mean, we talk about 2 people from Brazil, 1 people from other, we have really, really limited resources, but it will be important that people that we are the converted, most of us were here, but I think it will be good that we consider bringing primary care providers so that they are the ones that also can help to, we talk about collaborative care, to continue challenge the work that we're doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudina.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Kenneth J. I'm a psychiatrist from Nigeria. Well, I think I want to thank the organizer of the program for giving me the opportunity to be part of this. So I've been trying to do a lot of things by myself. I really have these good, lofty ideas, and I know what is the ideal thing that we should do about global mental health. But I think this conference has really brought a lot of practical things to my face. I've never really explored much of partnership. And so I know that if I'm ever going to do something bigger than what I'm doing presently, I will have to look out for partnership when I get back home. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Joel Corcoran from Clubhouse International. And in addition to accepting Ken's bold challenge to partner with them and helping introduce this community around the world, on behalf of Clubhouse International, we commit to continue to engage and activate and encourage the thousands of people with lived experience who are part of our network to participate with all of you and be at the table for opinion making and influence making and to work tirelessly to do that. And to demonstrate our commitment to that, if I could prevail on the people who are board members or Clubhouse staff or Clubhouse members or active with Clubhouses in this room to just stand up for a minute, still here? And that's only some of us that were here. We are very committed. And thank you. And finally, on a personal level, I commit to continue to bother all of you to help us find ways to partner with you and to get you to come and see a Clubhouse and meet the people who want to join you.
Thank you very much.
Can I? Okay. Okay, Roberto Mezzina from the World Health Organization Collaborating Center of Trieste, Italy, and I have 2 issues. First is I would expect for a wider implementation of these ideas and these recommendations, including the WHO, that the world of medicine would be included, because we are mostly people from the mental health field, but we have to talk to another part of the world that should talk with us and should include this view of holistic health and physical and mental health together and embrace the idea to overcome all the discrimination attitudes that are within that world. So I think we'd expect that next steps would include more organizations like WONCA, for instance, or other that I am sure that WHO has already contacted. But I think this is an important part of the destigmatization and having a more wider view on these issues. The second one is the terms of the health, the right human rights view and human rights approach. It's a great component, because if we put this into more precisely the framework of health, the right to health, which is not only the right to integrated treatment. In this case, treatment is integrated, should be integrated, but more than that, the right to care, but more than the right to care, more the right to your own health as the project of the person. So putting the person at the center in terms of advocating the right to health, and using this idea to in this healthcare, this human rights framework.
Thank you very much, Roberto.
So my name is Serge Blasberg. I'm a member of and colleague of Fountain House, and I'm on Clubhouse International's Faculty Advisory Board and Standards Review Committee. I also co-chaired the United States Clubhouse Initiative for a coalition here, a national coalition in the United States. I'm taking away from this something that's been bothering me for 18 years now, and that is the need to integrate information technologies in the behavioral sciences so that we may deal with identifiable issues in real time while they're still in an acute state before they become chronic or, God forbid, worse. And I think many of our stressors in life are manifested into mental health issues. And I'm very pleased to have heard of Trust Circle for the first time today, and any other technologies that help us deal with life stress issues that may manifest once again into mental health issues. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ramon Castano from Colombia. I come from the health services area and the health system performance area. And I'm practically a newcomer to mental health. But I have the opportunity to interact with many fields in healthcare, be it cardiovascular care, cancer care, maternal and child care, particularly at the delivery side. And let me tell you that I've heard a couple of times here that you guys have a long expectation, a very high expectations on primary care. But my experience, particularly in developing countries, is that primary care is painfully incapable of meeting all these challenges that you're expecting from them. I can say from cardiovascular, from cancer, from all the medical areas that you can imagine, all of them have very high expectations on primary care for early detection, for promotion, for a lot of things, but the painful reality is that they cannot meet all those expectations, at least at the level that you guys expect from them. So we have to think of a different pathway, how to bypass primary care, not absolutely forgetting them, because they can collaborate, they can help, they can put some, they can help to some extent, but we have to devise or to come up with some ideas to bypass those limitations. And I think the only option that we have at hand is empowering communities and exploiting and tapping all the resources of the communities, which is something citiesRISE is working very, very beautifully, and be less expectant on primary care doctors in developing countries and more expecting more from communities. I'm more optimistic about that because we don't have to pay for them. Most of them are voluntary people who are giving their willingness to help. And I think that there's a sentence by David Kotler, a famous health economist, who says, the less used resource in healthcare is the patients themselves. And I would add to that sentence that the second less used resource is communities. So you should expect less from primary care and more from communities. That's my point. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Important points to remember. I see, yes.
I just want to thank everyone for coming and spending the last 2 days together. This is an extremely crucial point, I think, in our experiences, bringing a bunch of different perspectives and addressing a global solution. My name is Francesca Pernice, and I'm from Detroit, and I train psychologists at Wayne State University, but I've been doing Clubhouse research for 20 years. So I wanted to state that my commitment is to continue training professionals and practitioners and family members in an ecological recovery model. when I joined the faculty, they all questioned me, like, what are you doing? Recovery is not possible. And then, here we are. I also want to inspire us to continue to think about ecological solutions. These are solutions, we tend to approach things at a very individual level, but this involves, and what I heard these last 2 days, macro-systemic solutions. We're talking about financial, we're talking about what's going on in cities and in communities, and why we experience some of the mental health or health challenges. So I want to encourage us and to inspire us to really look at ecological solutions. And I am going to push the clubhouse model because I've spent 20 years being skeptical, because that's what we do as scientists. We are skeptical until we look for the evidence. And I have been inspired by the evidence. In fact, our state in Michigan, we boast probably the most clubhouses, I think, nationally. We're up to about 48 clubhouses. And we support them, our state supports them as a solution to our communities. And so I want to inspire all of you to think about this model as an integrated health model that really addresses a very marginalized and neglected segment of our world, of our population, of our communities. And the many family members that we work with, that I deal with and talk to, who have loved ones. And when they go to Clubhouse, everybody's lives get affected, even if they're not involved. And it's amazing to me because there's an indirect ecological impact on people just from having this model available in their communities. So thank you.
Ma Hong from China, you have the floor.
Thank you for inviting me here. I'm Ma Hong from Beijing, also WHO Collaboration Center in China. I'm just thinking about the China economic situation. The young people, their community, not only based on the real world, real society, their community based on the internet. So I heard a lot about e-health in Europe. So I also see the e-health very development in Europe. So I'm just thinking, maybe mental health, we can lead by the WHO and think about some new technology, high-tech issue to use our mental health promotion and education and kind of new community. It's just thinking, may or may not be correct, but that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ma Hong, for coming here. Perhaps you are the person who has traveled the maximum distance to come to this place. So thank you for coming here, and thank you for supporting this cause in the country. I see no other hand, so we come to Helen.
Thank you. Thank you, Shekhar. And following my friend Ma Hong, I wanted to comment that from the World Psychiatric Association that we are working, we're fortunate to have alliances with a number of the people on the stage, including WHO and citiesRISE and other groups in the room, and we look forward to psychiatrists being part of the mosaic of responding to community needs for improving mental health and for supporting people with mental health problems and their families. And we look forward to continuing with that in the future.
Thank you very much. We have somebody else.
Thank you very much. For the past 2 days, I was able to learn a lot about the importance of global mental health. My name is Jin Hashimoto, and I am from Japanese Foreign Service. I just wanted to say that one concept that our government advocate, which is called human security, we often talk about national security and we focus on the protection of the borders. But in the concept of human security, we focus on the importance of each individual's well-being. And in that concept, mental health is deeply connected. And I hope that our government and also as a member of international community, we can work together to enhance this important field.
Thank you very much.
Hi, everybody. Leon Zeitz from citiesRISE. Just wanted to thank everybody for coming, but I wanted to challenge everyone to try and bring more young people to conferences. Like, it's going to require adults and organizations adding budgets and making a prerogative to say, we're going to bring a young person to the table. It would be great to see more youth here bringing the energy that they do. And then I guess my personal commitment is this like lifelong journey to this field and this effort. But it's much more than mental health. It's about society and our humanity and you know, how can mental health help solve climate change, and how can we end racial injustice and mass incarceration in the US? We, this community, can play a big role in that, and so I'm committed to addressing all of those issues while also addressing mental health with citiesRISE and others, but thank you all again for your participation.
Hi, everybody. I wanted to just share my own commitment, and I wanted to share just a last little thing about community. So my own commitment, being here the last 2 days, I realized I really need to go into policy and advocacy. And I was really inspired by the young people doing just that. So that's going to be my commitment. I would like to do some of that work. But I just wanted to talk about community for a second, because I told you guys the way to build community is to have a shared goal, right? And we did that the last 2 days. We all have the shared goal of improving mental health outcomes. So we created our own community. And we have this great app we all have on our phones to keep in touch with each other. And we should definitely do that. So thanks for creating community.
Do we have anybody else? Yes, the lady there. We are coming to the end, so I'd like you to be brief, and we would like to finish in the next 3-4 minutes time, if that is possible.
Hello, I'm Swad. I'm from Dubai, United Arab Emirates. And I've really learned a lot from this, from these 2 days, the conference. And we are comparatively young in Dubai. So for me, what my commitment is, I would like to introduce the Fountain House, something like this back home. So we could also invite all the mental health people who are so deprived of any activities to be able to be part of the community and also involved in their daily life experiences. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So Shekhar, I just have a little bit of housekeeping, and that is Betty mentioned the app.
I will give you the floor, but let me finish because I haven't made any commitment myself.
Oh, go ahead, Shekhar, please.
Thank you very much, Pauline. This conference has been very inspiring, and I would like to make 2 commitments from my side. One, that from the Harvard School of Public Health, which is my organization now, I will continue to see to it that healthier and longer lives for people with severe mental illness is on the agenda and continues to be there. On the personal side, I would like to make a commitment to all of you that if you need some help, some advice, some thoughts, feel free to write to me. I will reply. Thank you. With big thanks to all the panel members and their organizations and all of you, I would like to close this session, but before the conference is closed, Pauline, over to you.
Thank you, Shekhar. So just to make sure everybody does understand this, the conference was just a beginning. The app, the website, every presentation you've heard and seen, Every paper you send to us will remain live. You now have this entire community that we expect and no less demand that you continue to communicate with.
Thank you. Thank you for everything.
You too. Go live.